Okay, so you always want to wash your hands before and after you change the diaper. Super basic, right? But worth mentioning. You are handling human waste, so you want to pay attention to hygiene and wash those hands. All right. So, a common question I get, and it's a great question, right, is when do I change this baby? How often do I change the baby, right? So, you're going to change them when they wake up and they are asking for something, crying a little bit, wanting to feed, so chances are they're going to have a wet diaper at that time. So go ahead and give them a quick change before you put them on the breast or the bottle. And then maybe again after they've fed, you might notice they have a wet diaper as well. Okay. And so once your milk has come in and you've gone home from the hospital and baby's a few days old, you should be getting 6 to 8 wet and dirty diapers every day. Okay. In the very beginning, when your baby's just a day old, 2 days old, you're not going to be getting that many wet diapers because baby's not taking in that much milk, right? Your milk has not come in, their stomach's very tiny. Yeah. And so when things are really feeding as well established and baby's several days old, that's when you get that 6 to 8 wet and dirty diapers a day. I say that because that should give you an idea of how often you're changing this kid. Okay. And so new parents, I find, change their babies more like 8 to 12 times a day. So that might help you figure out how many diapers you need. Yeah, so dirty diapers, poop diapers, you always want to change right away. If you see it, smell it, and you know it, and guess what? Baby's going to be crying and telling you too that they want their diaper changed. Okay. So go ahead and change that poop diaper right away if you notice that that's happened. And baby will thank you for it. I always recommend if baby's sleeping peacefully, then that means their diaper is not soiled enough to be changed. And you should just let them sleep. Okay. Let sleeping babies lie. Yeah. And they'll wake up soon enough and want to eat. So for little boys, you want to go ahead and point their penis down into the diaper. You have to consciously do that. If you don't, then their penis is going to point up and they're going to pee up out of the diaper and onto the trunk there. Okay. So you want to make sure that it's always pointing down. So for little girls, you always want to clean from front to back, just like you would any other girl or woman. You want to just make sure. So if this is her vulva here, and this is the urethra where the pee comes out, and the anus where poop comes out, you want to just go from top to bottom. So do a swipe. Okay. You don't want to be dragging poop up to where that urine comes out. So, what we recommend that you use, we're very anti product in the very beginning. This slide says warm water and cotton rounds and a washcloth. Okay, this is when I get real with you guys at mom to mom. I was like, I can't. What else can we use? That I can't use a washcloth every day, right? So my my answer to that, I'm a kind of a rebel sometimes, is water wipes. Okay, and so these are pretty common nowadays. I got this at like not even the fancy grocery store. It is on all the shelves, right? And it's the brand water wipe, but other companies do these water wipes, and it's essentially just a regular baby wipe that is 99.9% water and the other 0.1% is fruit extract. So it doesn't have a lot of alcohol and extra chemicals that can really dry out that skin around the diaper area because you don't want to do that, right? So water wipes or cotton rounds, if you want to do that, that's cool. Or washcloths. You can even diaper with these guys, but you're going to be doing extra laundry. Yeah, so when baby's a month or so old, 4 to 6 weeks, then you can do the traditional baby wipes. But I would look again for that language of hypoallergenic, fragrance free. And I think a lot of the companies have kind of caught on to that. Most of the baby wipes out there should have those properties too. You really don't need any creams or ointments in the very beginning when they're a month old or a couple weeks old because you're changing their diaper so much, y'all. You're changing your baby's diaper 8 to 12 times a day. They really don't even have time to get a diaper rash because diaper rashes happen when that diaper area is kind of not breathing and caught in this dirty, moist diaper for longer periods of time when baby's sleeping for longer blocks of time or sleeping through the night. That's when kiddos are more likely to get diaper rashes. So you don't have to do the ointments as a preventative thing. I don't really like baby powder because it's so easy for it to get airborne, right? So even if you're carefully sprinkling that baby powder on, then it can get airborne and baby can inhale that. So, also, too, talcum and talc powder has been linked to ovarian cancer in girls later on or women later on. So, I just don't love baby powder. Okay, welcome to the most disgusting slide of the day, but also the most practical slide. I love this slide. So, this is what your baby's poop's going to look like in the beginning. Okay. Um, this is your day one poop. This is called meconium. Now, this stuff only lasts for a day or two. Don't worry. It is very dark and sticky and hard to clean. So just give yourself a break if it's taking you a lot of time and a lot of wipes to get through this meconium poop. Okay. It's not a forever thing. Yeah. And so this stuff is actually sterile and it's odorless, if you can believe that. I swear to you, it is odorless. And so this is what's actually in your baby's intestines when they're born. Yeah. So once they are consuming milk for the first time and their body's processing milk for the first time, then their poop is going to change, right? So it's going to go from this meconium looking stuff to this what we call transitional. It's truly called transitional stool, and it's very mucusy. And this is not runny poop, you guys. This is normal. Your baby's poop should not be formed at this stage. Yeah. So if it's super mucusy and it's got this like seeds in it, which is essentially undigested milk particles. So that's normal too. Okay, so once your milk comes in, say you're breastfeeding and your milk comes in, then the poop is going to change again. Baby is consuming a lot more volume of milk at this time at day 5 and 6, and it's going to get way seedier. I'm talking Dijon mustard seedy. That's what their poop looks like. Straight up Dijon mustard. It is super bright, kind of orangey yellow, and super seedy. And then once they get to a week to 4 weeks old, it's still going to be that weird kind of bright color, but it's going to be a bit pastier and less seedy. Okay, let's change a diaper. All right, so I just want to show you guys this diaper pack here. I'm not promoting Pampers, but this is just kind of what I grabbed when I went to the grocery store. But most of the packs are designed in this way. Partners, if you're getting sent out to the grocery store to get some diapers, you want to look. The size is located normally at the bottom corner here on a circle. And so it goes anywhere from, well, there's preemie size, but there's N for newborn, and that fits a baby up to 7 pounds, or a size 1 to, I want to say it goes up to 5 or 6. So a size 1 diaper will fit a baby from 8 to 14 pounds. If you're having a normal size baby, then you want to buy more of these. If you're going to pre-buy a lot of diapers, you want to buy more size 1s and less of those newborn size, because baby's going to grow out of that newborn size pretty quick. Okay. So a diaper, so like this is a newborn size, and this is a size 1. So a little bit different, but not super drastic, maybe an inch there. Yeah. And so there's usually a graphic or something on the front. This light is bright. Yeah. And then most diapers will have this strip. Do you see how? Okay, this is the same brand. You can't see a green strip here, but here you can. So if this thing is wet enough to be changed, I put some water in here. If it's wet enough to be changed, then you're going to see this little blue strip here. And that's a great feature to let you know that this diaper needs to be changed. So that's cool. Okay, so I'm going to change a diaper. I'm going to get myself set up for a stress-free experience. So what that means is I'm going to get whatever it is I'm going to use to wipe baby with out and ready to go. And so I'm going to go ahead and get a couple of wipes out of the pack, or maybe even just pop this guy open and get it going. You don't want to be fumbling around with this while your baby's out in the breeze peeing into the air, right? And so you want to go ahead and open up your clean diaper and just have it ready to go. And then I'm just going to check out what I'm dealing with here. Hopefully you can see. So I'm just gonna give it a little peek and see, okay, am I dealing with a pee diaper or poop diaper? If I'm seeing a lot of poop here, then I might grab a couple of extra wipes. Okay. And so I'm just gonna do this is like Velcro. Okay, so you can tab it and untab it, it's no big deal. If I have anything clean here, what I would do is just do like an initial drag down. Okay. And then I'm gonna get to work with these wipes. So this is a girl baby. So I'm just gonna kind of clean, remember, from front to back on that vulva here. And then I'm gonna use a different section of these wipes to clean her thighs and her bottom. I might even need a different wipe to clean her back and her booty. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pop these dirty wipes into this dirty diaper and just grab her little heels and gently lift her up off of the changing table and put this new diaper underneath. Okay? Her legs are down here. I'm going to secure the top of this diaper with one hand and then go around with the other and fasten the tabs. And since she's brand new, I'm going to go ahead and just fold down this waistband. Okay? And so what I've done is I've really done a snug diaper for her, you guys. I see new parents so often because they're being so gentle with their babies. It's kind of sweet, but they'll do diapers super loose because you're trying to be gentle like this. But that's not going to help your baby. It's not going to help you because guess what? She's going to pee out of this thing and get everything wet, maybe even get a little fussy, and then you're going to have to redo everything. So just go ahead and do yourself a favor and make it nice and snug. There's a lot of elastic material here, so you should be able to pop a finger or two in, but that's it. Okay? Now, for boys, I get a lot of questions about, and rightfully so, right, about how to change boy babies. Obviously, their anatomy is very different. You want to, I get a lot of questions about foreskin, yeah? And so many of you are probably planning to circumcise your baby, though honestly, the pendulum's swinging the other way, and I see a lot of uncircumcised babies too, yeah? And so the foreskin, you never, ever, ever, ever want to retract that foreskin. You just leave it be, and you just, so say this is a penis, you just want to clean what you see, all okay? You are not retracting any foreskin. That is physically attached to the tip, and poop is not going to get underneath that foreskin. So you just clean what you see, and then you'll have to clean their scrotum too. That have the, like, it's bigger than what you would expect, but you'll have to clean that as well. Belushi is my dog. And any more questions about boy babies, please let me know in the chat. Yeah, so we have a video about diapering on our Instagram page. All right, let's talk about cord care. So the cord obviously is the umbilical cord, and that is the connection between your baby and the placenta as they're growing inside of you right now. Yeah. And so the thing that is sustaining your baby's life is this disc here called a placenta. And this is carrying all of the blood, oxygen, and nutrients through this yarn slash umbilical cord to baby. Okay. And so when she's born and she takes her first breath, she no longer needs this thing. So this is going to get clamped and trimmed. And you're going to have to figure out how to take care of the little stump. And it's not very hard. Okay. So yeah, so there's no need to clean the cord. In fact, just leave it alone. Okay. Sometimes people will use alcohol rubbing alcohol to kind of clean that cord stump, but it's not necessary. So we've done research to see if there are more cord stump infections with babies who don't have alcohol to clean the cord stump, but there really is no difference between the groups that just left it alone versus groups that used rubbing alcohol. You could honestly do either one, but we don't really recommend that you clean that cord. So just try not to get the thing wet, okay? So really the whole point of this care is to just keep this thing dry, so dry that it ends up falling off. So day one, now this baby was just born, and I'm talking like within the hour just born. And I know that because this cord has the the vessels there that transported all of the blood, oxygen, and nutrients to baby, those are still kind of pulsating. Yeah. And so that gets clamped off initially with this little kind of temporary plastic clamp. It looks like a barrette. And so your baby catcher is going to put that clamp on there at some point, and then another clamp, and they're usually hand the scissors to a partner and tell you where to trim that cord. Okay, don't worry, you don't have to rehearse that at all. You're going to be like a deer in headlights anyway. So happy that your baby's born in disbelief, and we're going to put a pair of scissors in your hands and say, "Hey, cut right there," and you'll trim that cord stump. Okay, you're not going to have to deal with a cord that looks this long. I promise you. Okay, it's we're going to be like this length here. All right. And so once this is no longer in use and flowing blood, oxygen, and nutrients, it's going to dry up, shrivel up, and fall off. So you don't want to get it wet. Now, if you end up getting the cord wet in the tub or just inadvertently somehow, don't panic, but just try to dry it out. Definitely keep it out of the diaper. Keep that diaper folded down so that that cord stump is kind of open to the air. Yeah. Yeah, so the cord will usually fall off at around day 7. Sometimes it'll fall off a little bit early. Sometimes it'll be, day 10, day 5. Either way, it'll fall off around a week. And if you're concerned, call your pediatrician. So, in my 20 years of taking care of babies, I've only seen 2 umbilical cord site infections. Okay. It is super rare, y'all. Now, if that's happening, then you're going to notice that there's some drainage coming from the belly button here. It looks like infectious drainage. It's yellowy green and it has an odor to it. You're also going to notice that there's some redness around the skin here. And by the way, if you handle that area, baby's going to probably fuss a little bit at you because it's going to be bothering them. But again, that is very rare. But if you're concerned, please call your pediatrician. Now, on a normal scenario where this cord is just kind of hanging around, if you if you handle it in any way, it's not going to hurt your baby. There are no nerve endings here. So just don't worry, just kind of leave it out of the diaper and leave it be. Okay. You can certainly cover it with clothes, but just out of the diaper. Okay, so any questions on bathing your baby, skin and nail care, changing diapers, or cord care? So we're going to do a little Q&A for about 15 minutes, and then we'll have a little break. Yeah. So, all right. So we're going to open up the chat and then have a break. All right. I'm waiting for my IT person to open up the chat. I see someone's already typing. Thank you. And thank you guys for your patience today with a little kerfuffle of the slide deck. I'm glad I still have you here. Sometimes this happens. Okay, reach out to Will. I'm sure there's a lot of questions here. We just need to get the chat opened up. Oh, looks like here we go. All right. Okay, Megan, thanks for typing in. So she writes, what about cradle cap? So cradle cap, Megan, is something that happens every now and then for newborn babies. It's not every baby, right? And so cradle cap is basically little uh, oily patches or scaly patches on the baby's head that can come up, and they last for sometimes a couple weeks, sometimes a couple of months. All right. And so if your baby has cradle cap, you're probably not going to see that in the very beginning. But if you do, a gentle shampoo will do. Okay. And so you want to make sure that you have nice warm water and you're massaging that area with just warm water first to see if maybe you can loosen those little scaly patches. You don't want to rip those off. But if you're not able to loosen them with just warm water, then you can use a gentle shampoo. Okay. And if that's not working over a period of several days, then definitely reach out to your pediatrician and she can give you a plan in terms of how to get rid of that cradle cap. Okay. Yeah, so cradle cap is just something that happens. It's not because parents do something, or it's just something that happens or doesn't have. It's just it's a random thing, right? And so there's really nothing to be done to prevent it. I will say that if you are using any oils like olive oil or baby oil to loosen the scaly patches, then that might make the problem a bit worse because you are kind of clogging those pores even more, right? And so I think the cradle cap thing, it's all about how you approach it. And working with your pediatrician hand in hand would be my advice to you is to do, usually they'll do like try warm water and clean it that way, and then do a gentle baby shampoo. And then if that doesn't work, sometimes they'll prescribe a medicated shampoo for you. Okay. Oh, right. So, Krista, so the first few weeks only bathe in water. Yeah. So that's what we recommend, Krista, just because we don't think that they need those products, exposure to those products, and they're not that dirty. You want to really kind of set their skin up for being nice and robust and not dried out and colonized with that good bacteria, right? So that they don't get rashes and sensitivities in the future. And again, that's just our advice to you based on the research that's out there. The good thing about being a parent is that you can take the advice from professionals and from lay people and your friends and figure out what it is that's going to work for you, what you want to do. Okay, you're the boss, applesauce. All right, Melissa, at what point do you increase bath time from once a week? Yeah, so Melissa, you can, once they're a month old, you can bathe them as often as you want. Okay. It really depends on the baby. You know, sometimes babies enjoy bath time and other times they don't. They get really fussy around bath time. So I promise you that you will know where your baby is on that spectrum. So one of my kiddos, I would bathe every single day because she really enjoyed it. And the other one I just bathed a couple of times a week because she didn't really seem to love it so much. So, um, and really, it doesn't matter what time of day, just whatever seems intuitive to you. Evening, morning, doesn't matter. Okay. Chelsea, did you use cotton rounds to wipe the eyes before the bath? Yeah, Chelsea, I did. So it's very common, Chelsea, for newborns to have a little bit of crust in the eye, and if that's happening, then you can use a cotton round because you're not getting any water in the eye. It's just dry, and you just go from the inner corner to the outer corner. And that's only if it appears that your baby's eyes need to be wiped down. Okay. All right. You guys were helping each other out before the chat opened. That's so nice. Okay, Sabra, I don't mean to sound mean, but is it okay to use gloves when changing diapers? Yes, Sabra, again, whatever feels intuitive to you and whatever you feel comfortable with, you can certainly use gloves to change the baby's diaper, okay? This is being a parent is such a unique thing, and such a special, such a, you know what I'm trying to say? You do what seems right for you, right? I will say, Sabra, that that disgusting slide with all of the poop pictures on it, none of that stuff has any odor to it, especially for breastfed babies. So it's not as uh, scary as you might think it is. But if you want to do gloves, do gloves. Okay, Geraldine, how do you clean and change a baby after they had a blowout and the poop goes up their back? Yeah, Geraldine. So thanks for keeping it real with us. All your babies are going to have a blowout, and that is okay. All right. So just to maybe a little sense of humor and a lot of patience and a lot of wipes, and you just go one little piece at a time. Yeah. And so what I would do in a blowout situation is go ahead and take their clothes off because they're going to have poop on their clothes. Go ahead and wipe down the areas before you take that diaper off. Wipe down the back first and then do the diaper area next. You might even find that you want to give them a little bath if they're having a blowout. Just really depends. But blowouts are prevented sometimes when you do a nice snug diaper and not a loose diaper. Okay. You don't want there to be any opportunity for poop to kind of travel. Okay. All right, Brittany, are there any specific instructions for bathing or changing baby boys that are circumcised? Thank you so much for asking. I always get this question. It's a super important one. So, Brittany, whoever circumcises your baby should be giving you specific care instructions. Your It's going to take about 7 days to heal. You definitely don't want to bathe the baby in the first 24 hours after getting a circumcision. If you must bathe them, I would just do a sponge bath. Okay. And so your provider is going to give you a little packet of strips of gauze that are coated in Vaseline. It's called Vaseline gauze. There's no alchemy to it. It's just gauze strips with Vaseline on it. And so that gauze is going to be basic. So this is my this is a penis again. So the foreskin is removed, baby's been circumcised, and this tip is raw. Okay. And this is what needs to heal. And so I'm going to wrap some Vaseline gauze around this tip to keep it moist so that it doesn't stick to the diaper. Because if it sticks to the diaper, guess what? You change the diaper, then it's going to rip that tip a little bit, and that's going to be painful for baby. So it's a little more labor intensive when your baby's just been circumcised to diaper because you're going to need to change that little Vaseline gauze tip every time you change, basically. Okay. And that's just going to be for about 3 days, I would say, the Vaseline gauze. But beyond that, that's my main takeaway for circumcised babies. Uncircumcised babies, again, I will mention again, do not pull back that foreskin. That is physically attached to the glands, and you don't, that's like ripping a fingernail off. It's painful. Okay. Jennifer asked a really good sleep question. Jennifer, stick around for the next half. We're going to talk all about safe sleep. Okay. So she writes, should a newborn sleep on their back or their tummy? I'll just give you the short answer, and it's on their back, and I'll tell you why after the break. Okay. Okay. Artiva, more detail on bathing baby boy in their area. Yeah, Artiva, just like you would bathe that little girl, but you would just clean their different anatomy. Okay. There's really nothing special about it. You just don't want to retract that foreskin. Um, that's the only extra point to be made, I would say. Y'all already know Tia's like back to prevent SIDS. You get the prize. Okay. Alicia, what products do you recommend we start them off for bathing? Alicia, I don't have any special products that I'm loyal to. I would just use when I had my first baby 11 years ago, I used the most economical product out there. If you want to, I would just use that hypoallergenic fragrance free, would be, I guess, the gentlest thing that you could use on baby. Okay. But once they're a month old, you can use whatever you want. Okay. Okay, Ari. Okay, I'm going to clarify. So she writes, since you're not supposed to wash baby boy for a little while after birth, do you wash the baby girl right after you give birth? And do we need to tell them not to wash him? Yeah, Ari, thank you for having me kind of say again about the delaying the bath. So all babies, I recommend all babies you delay that first bath for 24 hours, boys and girls. Okay. The benefits for that would be that vernix, that white stuff that coats the skin, you're preserving that vernix on their skin by not bathing them right away. Okay. Also, if you're bathing them right away, you're stripping off of the good or the odor the smell that they're familiar with and that they're used to. Okay. And if you strip that odor, that smell off, they're not as going to be as successful with breastfeeding and that initial latch. Okay. And so research actually tells us if you delay the bath in the beginning, baby's more likely to be successful with that latch for breastfeeding. Okay, because that smell is preserved, if that makes sense. All right. Again, if you're bathing baby too early in the hospital, then they can get cold it's hard to warm them up again, and they can have a little bit of blood sugar instability and temperature instability. So yes, or you do have to usually have to tell your staff that you want to delay that bath for the first 24 hours. Okay. So it just depends on the hospital, but it's always best to communicate your wishes and not assume that they're going to delay the bath. Okay. Dobby, how do you channel baby boy so he doesn't pee in your face? So she writes another very important point. So, baby boys, when they're relaxed and you're diapering them, they're probably going to pee in your face at some point. Okay. I'm just going to tell you. Now, you can get fancy and get the pee teepee, which is this piece of cotton that goes over the penis so they don't pee on you. But you could just use like a washcloth and kind of keep it over the penis while you're grabbing, a wipe or a diaper, and that will help prevent baby from peeing on you. But it might happen anyway. So Ellie, there are no stitches for circumcision. It is just they just remove that foreskin and that area is a bit raw. Okay. So Janae, clipping the baby's nails, it really depends on the baby. When you notice that that nail is long, just like you would notice your own nails are long, go ahead and clip them, slash just file them down, don't clip them. Okay. And so you might notice too, if your baby's nails are too long, when they are putting their hands to their face, they might even scratch their face. That happens a lot. And that's not it's okay if that happens, right? But just try to keep their nails short. All right. So it just depends.